So let me ask you something. Have you been searching for a home in Bullhead City or Fort Mohave, Arizona? Maybe you're relocating, looking for a second home or an investment opportunity. You found the perfect one, the layout's great, the price is right, the neighborhood looks great, and then you close escrow. You move in, and that's when you find out that you can't rent it out as an Airbnb when you're not using it. You can't park your boat on the side of the house, and you own too many pets for the location. And nobody told you to check any of those before you close escrow. And I've seen it happen, and I don't want it to happen to you. Hi, I'm Amy Pierce, a real estate professional with Keller Williams Arizona Living Realty, and I specialize in helping people buy and sell in Bullhead City and the surrounding areas along the Colorado River. Whether you're relocating here full-time, looking for a second home, or exploring this area as an investment, this channel was built for you. So today I want to give you a real practical checklist, 10 specific things to look at during your inspection and due diligence period when you're buying a home in an HOA community. So let's get into it. But before we go to the list, I want to just quickly clear up something that a lot of buyers may get a little confused. And that's the difference between the HOA and the CC&Rs. The HOA is the Homeowners Association, and it is the organization that governs the community. It collects the dues, it manages the shared spaces, and enforces the rules. The CC&Rs is the covenants, the conditions, and restrictions. This is really the actual rule book. It's the legal document that every homeowner is bound by the moment that they purchase that home. Buying a home means that you agree to it. Think of it this way. The HOA runs the community, and the CC&Rs is the law of the land. So let's talk about what my clients look for first. And number one is the HOA fees, what you're actually paying. The first thing everyone asks is how much are the HOAs? And that's exactly the right place to start. Fees in this area can vary quite a bit. Some communities have very minimal monthly dues, while others are higher and cover a lot more. What matters is understanding what the number actually covers, because a higher HOA monthly fee that includes amenities, common area maintenance, and community services can be a better deal than lower fees that leaves more cost on you individually. Number two is short and long-term rentals, Airbnb, and seasonal renting. This is one of the really big deals for buyers in this area, and it needs to be at the top of your checklist. The Colorado River brings people all summer long, and the Bullhead City area with its mild winters attracts snowbirds from all over the country. So if you are a second home buyer thinking about renting out part of the year, or an investor who wants a short-term rental income, you're going to want to verify this before you make an offer. Some HOAs explicitly prohibit short-term rentals. Anything less than 30 days is off the table. Others allow it with certain conditions, and some communities are completely fine with it. Don't assume, read the CC&Rs, check your local city and county court ordinance, and even if renting is the last thing on your mind, it's still worth knowing the policy, because if short-term rentals are allowed in your community, that means that your neighbor can do it too. And a revolving door with weekend guests next door can affect the feel of the neighborhood that you thought you were buying into. Number three is, what do the fees actually cover? Every HOA is responsible for something different. Some cover front yard landscaping, some maintain community pools and common areas, fitness centers, or gated entry systems. You want a clear picture of exactly what that HOA maintains, and just as importantly, what they don't. That helps you budget realistically and understand what you're getting for your money every single month. Number four is pet restrictions. This one catches a lot of people off guard more than almost anything else. Some HOAs limit the number of pets that you can have. Others may have a breed restriction for dogs, and some may even have a weight or size limit. For example, no dogs over a certain number of pounds. If you have pets or you plan to, you need to make sure that you review the section in the CCRs carefully. And don't assume that because you're buying a house rather than renting, that there are not any pet rules. In some communities, the restrictions are just as specific. So number five is RV, boat, and extra vehicle storage. If you're moving into the Bullhead City area, there's a really good chance you have or you plan on having a boat, an RV, a side-by-side, or additional vehicles. This is river country. Outdoor recreation is a big part of the lifestyle out here. And the HOA rules on this vary significantly. Some communities have designated RV and boat storage areas within the development. Some allow storage on the side of the home or behind a gate, while others prohibit recreational vehicle storage on the property, which means that offsite storage costs on top of your HOA dues. Don't assume that because the property has a side yard that you're good to go and park your boat there. Read the CC&R specifically for recreation and extra vehicle storage before the property becomes your top choice. Number 6 is tight restrictions on side and rear parking. Here's the detail that surprises people who think that they've already solved the storage question. Some HOAs allowed side yard parking for RVs and boats, but they also have a height restriction. So if storage is permitted, your 12-foot RV may not be. The fence or the wall height limit of 5 or 6 feet can mean that your vehicle is visible above the barrier, and some HOAs won't allow that. So it's actually a two-part question. Is storage permitted, and does your specific vehicle fit within that height rule? Number 7 is street parking and driveway rules. Street parking is another area that surprises people after they move in. Some HOA communities limit how long a vehicle can be parked on the street, 24 hours, 48 hours, no overnight parking at all. Others restrict which type of vehicles. It could be that they don't allow any commercial vehicles, no trailers, no oversized trucks. And some communities regulate how many vehicles can be in your driveway and whether they need to fit within a specific boundary. If you have multiple vehicles, adult kids visiting, and regular guests, this matters more than you might expect. It's worth checking into. Number 8 is building out your backyard and home improvements. And this one is relevant for anyone who is looking at new construction, which there is a lot of in our area. Many new builds come with a blank slate backyard, no landscaping, no patio, no pool, and buyers, they naturally want to build out those areas when they move in. What a lot of people don't realize is that with an HOA committee, you typically need approval before adding anything. And that's not necessarily a deal breaker, it's just a process. But go in knowing what styles are approved, what's not allowed, and how long approval typically takes. Number 9 is running a business from your property. And this comes up more than people expect, especially for the buyers who are self-employed, running trade businesses, or work in a field that requires equipment or work vehicles. If your business touches your home in any physical way, you need to check what the HOA allows. Can you park your company truck or van with business signage on your driveway? Can you store tools or equipment on the property? Can you operate a business out of your garage or have clients come over to the house? These are all things that some HOAs regulate and some prohibit entirely. Working from home on a laptop or remotely is generally not an issue, but running a business from the physical property with visible signage, business vehicles, or customer traffic is where HOA rules tend to have something to say. And number 10 is working on vehicles at your property. If you like to work on your own vehicles, whether it's oil changes, mechanical work, detailing, just putzing on them, some HOAs restrict and prohibit that activity in the driveway or any kind of visibility from outdoor spaces. It's generally not about what you do inside your garage, but it's about is the work being visible and shared with the public facing area. And that's part of what you're going to want to check into. So check the CC&Rs and save any frustration or conversations with your HOA board in the future. Now I have a bonus for you, future assessments and fee increases. Before I wrap up, I want to share one more thing that doesn't always make people's checklists, but absolutely should. During your due diligence period, ask the HOA directly, are there any upcoming capital improvement projects, deferred maintenance needs, or planned special assessments? An assessment is an extra charge on top of your regular dues, and sometimes they're a few $100s, and sometimes much more. They use these funds to do major repair improvements that aren't covered by the reserves. Also ask to review the HOA's reserve fund study if there's one available. This tells you how financially healthy the association is and whether there are increases likely down the road. A well-funded HOA is a stable one, and a deleted reserve fund really should be a red flag. So there you have it, 10 things to look into during your due diligence period when you're buying a home in an HOA. And here's what I always tell my clients. The goal isn't to find a community with no rules. The goal is to find a community whose rules fit your lifestyle. I've had clients walk away from a home because the HOA didn't work with how they wanted to live. And that was all right. That is the right call. And I've had others who fall in love with the community because of the structure and amenities were exactly what they were looking for. If you're thinking about relocating, buying a second home, or investing in Bullhead City or the surrounding areas of Mohave County and want someone in your corner who knows the market, I'd love to connect. Scan the QR code or click the link in the comment below and book a call with me directly. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation about your goals and how I can help. And if this was helpful, please hit the like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my weekly videos about real estate and life along the Colorado River. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.